Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name's Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glaser.
Let's get her going, buddy. We got a lot longer of a starter sit than we usually do, so that's
We will. It's back up to everyone.
You have 6. I have 5.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Same, but lots to talk about between ish. Do we have anything to talk about?
There was some matches of consequence and interest this week, I think.
Yeah.
A couple little finals action, little double yellow card finals.
Yeah.
And a lot of double yellows everywhere, including for one person in particular. The second one was a straight red, but still same.
Right, just the same. But nothing else.
Nothing. No, that's about it.
Nothing else. All right, let's drink some because I think we're gonna both need them.
We will. Yeah, we got to be silly by the time start sit rolls around.
Yeah, no kidding. Obviously, check us out on your favorite place where you get your podcast. Download, rate, review us all. We appreciate you guys reaching out and letting us know what you like and what you don't like and where you found us, because that's semi-important to us.
It's nice to collect data on the. No, it's more about because there's just some fascinating download regions that we get every so often.
Every once in a while.
Why there? Places where you wouldn't expect rugby to be.
It's like, how did we get there?
Yeah.
Right in the bot number 5, I guess. Right, but
nice to see that there's interest in all corners of the planet, even if it's minimal. It's in each region. It's just kind of cool to see the map of where we get downloads. Yeah,
true that. Right. Oh man, we're gonna need some of you are gonna need this guy, Fancy Rugby Geek. Semifinals, not this coming week, but the next week. Make sure you buy that man a coffee. If you got to a semifinal because of his advice, buy him a coffee. Do it. Don't hesitate. We're gonna all need his help. Let's be real about this.
Yes, we will.
TRM upgrades. Restart Rugby was this past weekend, the restart weekend. It's really great. If you don't follow the Loose Heads, which is a group that is now working with the Prem directly, talking about mental health, fitness, and all that, and that is a cool thing going on there. So
they're
check
fantastic.
them out as well.
Yep,
yeah, I like them.
Worth a follow.
Absolutely, yeah. So check them out as well. But yeah, get your TRM upgrade so you can help the RPA and restart rugby, because that's a huge thing for them, and that's a big thing they do there. Mr. Restart Rugby, Ethan Waller will appreciate.
And I believe Loose Heads, just for those who don't know of them, I think it's with a Z. So I think
it is.
You're looking for it. It's Loose Heads.
It is, because the other name was probably already taken, which sucks, right. But still heavy. All right. So Black Lives Matter, as always, there's no room for racism at all. We have something going on in Ben and I's backyard of late, which is a little disturbing. A girl in Hopkinton, Michaela Miller, 16. Mm-hmm. There's some shady ass shit going on here. There is no question about it.
And they're not telling anybody how.
Yeah, that's like that should be the immediate red flag, and then you start digging into it more, and it's like, oh, this is corruption at its finest right here. Good Lord, this is fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
Yeah, so if you're not sure what I'm talking about, look up Michaela Miller and look up the DA that's on this thing too. She is a complete. Oh boy. Can't understand normal thinking. Not really into that one right there. That's for sure. Yeah. So that's something that I think if somebody's looking for, that's just, this is so fucked up in so many ways. And it's really scary that's in our backyard too, right here.
Yeah. It's one of those, you kind of expect it every so it's like, all the other problems we have in this fucking country, school shootings or stuff like that, when you're always like, I figure, like, I remember there was a school shooting a couple of years ago, after Parkland, or like right after Parkland, and it was in Arizona, and the media are all asking the kids, like, did you ever think this could happen here? And they're all like, fucking yes. Like we all knew it was going to be this kid too. Like, we knew.
You all did nothing about it.
Right. And so shit like this is happening in our backyards. It's just we got to get rid of it, right? Like, 'cause that's why it happened. It's prevalent, and we get these shitty, DAs who are corrupt as hell, and
so messed up.
It's fucked up, and the whole situation, that and the Brown situation in in North Carolina where
Mhm.
they're not letting they're basically like spoon feeding the family clips of it. It's like everybody's just covering shit up, now. They can't make, they don't want it to be too public because they know
Because I know they're
it'll
gonna
look
rinse it
bad. And
out.
it's like, well, fuck, I can't
Yes,
believe they
you
thought they'd get
will.
away with this one.
Yes, you will. You fuck bags.
A teenage girl, and you're just gonna try to cover up a murder?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah. No, and there's a lot of double standards going on with that one, and I'm like, fuck that. That is wrong. That
Right.
is wrong in so many levels. So yeah, dig into this and let's fucking somebody pressure this biatch to fucking recuse yourself at the very minimum.
Yeah.
Please, please, please. As I said, as we've been saying right along, we are going to open up a second tier of Champions League. We're getting down to the wire in that as well. There will be promotion and relegation. So right now, it's really hard to tell who's ready to go up or down. There have been points awarded at this point, but it's really only been one comp that's been fully awarded. So hard to tell right now. But keep your eyes peeled and don't go getting dropped. So
I feel reasonably safe because I made the semis in the Champions Cup, and
you're top two in the TRM
in TRM
Prem.
So
did you get points in Six Nations, or were you?
I don't remember. I think I might. I think I made it far in the Sacco bracket, but I don't. Oh no, that was that wasn't that. No, I fucked up that. I was way.
I couldn't remember.
I don't remember how far I down. I forgot that was TRM. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't do well in that.
Okay, so that might establish that.
Captaining Morrow when he got a 0.
Oh yeah, that hurts. That hurts, and not being able to respond to a whole lot of it there. Oops, you did Captain LRZ that one time though. That was a good one.
I did pretty well on some time. Like the last week, I fucking crushed it and made myself respectable.
Yeah, I was right below you, so you probably got points and I didn't.
That probably clinches my safety.
Yeah, so you would have been safe. But yeah, we're opening them up. So hit us up, and we'll make sure you get a spot in next year. Eight teams, eight managers we're looking for. So just get on it. All right. News, player movement. A little bit to churn through here. The one today, Bomber Eastlop going from Doncaster to Wasps. I presume this is Kieran Brooks's replacement as he's heading out to France. Right. So there's that.
Decent move. They could always use some help at the prop position.
Yeah, so I mean, good quality props are things that you need to have an abundance of if you possibly can, because you don't need to be giving away scrum penalties every 5 friggin' minutes in a match just because you don't have a good prop.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Also heading to Wasps, they found the replacement for Will Rowlands. Elliot Stuke going towards the Rico.
I think that's a little bit better than a replacement.
I do too. I agree.
I think that's a pretty big upgrade for them. So I'm stoked to see how that goes.
Well, I watched it. Fucking lame. I watched it. I saw it, and I was like, this is actually something that might work out for both sides because, again, we know that Wasps need a replacement for Rowlands. But looking at the other side, like the Bathmen have Yules, they have McNally, they have this kid Stadon that's coming through. They have Williams if they need to stick him in there as a second row. So they have somebody they can use as a second row, reserve if needed when the injury bug hits.
They need help elsewhere, really. So that this is almost like a trade. Like we'll give you this, and then we'll find someone in a position of need in return somewhere.
Yep, I'm sure they'll go looking. They have DC started training with them, which would be nice to see. Sips going into that jersey. That'll be cool. More Southern Hemisphere news in some ways. TJ Perenara coming home. He's coming home for a couple. He's going to stay around for a couple years too. At that,
until 23.
Yeah,
until through the World Cup and probably, and then
he'll probably start going abroad. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for everyone. Good for New Zealand.
Yeah, I knew that was happening.
Yeah, it was always going to happen, right?
Yep, and we saw. Julian Survey has actually signed on for a little bit longer with the Hurricanes as well. So
there you go.
He's excited. I don't think he's gotten to play with TJ yet, so I think he's excited to get that. We have the Stormers 8 men coming north. Augustus going to Saints. They're gonna hopefully that'll solve somewhat of a problem. I mean, Harrison and Endorf to trade off is not terrible, but hopefully this guy can grab this 8 shirt by the horns, as it were. And
neither of them are special. Like they're both kind of Jags. Not nothing that I'm like, oh shit, like Tim on Harrison. Like, yeah, he's not. I mean, he's a steady 8. But he's not, anywhere near that upper echelon. He's just like, if you have him, it's a solid guy. And Aidendorf is backup at best.
Yeah.
They don't really have the man at 8. And even though, yes, I realize Harrison's the captain, but that's different. That's right. The whole, like, yeah, he's a good leader. More so than his productivity. So,
right.
I mean, shit, move him to 6. There you go.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
God, I did it. More Southern Hemisphere. Nane Lamape is, I don't think it's been confirmed yet, but he is rumored to be what will be Gael Ficou's replacement at Stade Francais as Gael Ficou moves over to Racing.
Well,
you could do worse. You could do worse on the replacements. It's, it's too, I want to be mad at the All Blacks, but I can't be. Because obviously that's probably the only reason he's moving there, because it's not like he doesn't like playing for the Hurricanes. But if he doesn't feel like he's going to get time with New Zealand, then obviously that's his move.
Right. It's not, and he's not going to be, they don't have anybody. I mean, they have so many good players, the New Zealand at the center position. So it's like, he's never going to be the man, because they're not going to have the man
they never do
for years. I don't know when. Yeah. So it's, what he could be just one of the rotation guys, because that's how they'll do, or go get paid. And you know what, I'm choosing, and he's already won enough, so go get paid.
Yeah, he's gonna do just fine.
Yeah,
Parisians will love him, no doubt.
Yes, they will. Yes, and I'm sure he'll love them. So
yeah, I'm sure he'll enjoy in Paris very much. So hopefully he can do some damage before he heads out the door, though. Furlong is staying put with the Irish. And that was probably the smartest bit of business they could do, is make sure he doesn't go anywhere. Good for him. Staying put at Leinster, I believe, as well.
Does he have the cap level? I don't know. I can't remember if
Ireland doesn't do a cap limit. You have to play for one of the provinces if you want to play for Ireland.
Well, then there you go.
So yeah, make sure he doesn't go anywhere. And Will Muir, who has been very impressive. We talked about Bath before. He's been very impressive since he's come into the Bath fold, and taking after Rory McConaughey in many ways.
When can we see them work together again?
I would really enjoy that.
It's been so long.
Right. I would not be mad about like a Watson fullback and Muir and McConaughey thing on the wing type of thing going on, and Lanville on the bench. That'd be good.
That'd be all right.
I think I'd be okay with that one right there. So hopefully that's soon. And then there was something going on Thursday, and we got the British and Irish Lions.
It was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Names that were a bit of a surprise. Names that were omitted that were a surprise. But, overall, I don't have a whole lot to be mad about with the selection.
Not even a little bit. Yeah.
Like I think you and I both agreed Conan for standard probably would have been one to flip.
Yeah, but there's definitely some different, like, and yeah, and there's just like some of the props, like Xander Fagerson. I'm not huge on, but it's also at the same time, I feel like it's more like it's better to have more inclusion from every country, right? I'll take the hit, like between him and Tom Francis. Like,
yep, quite a bit there.
Francis is good. Don't get me wrong. There's a significant difference there, but for the Lions, they're both going to be like backups. So I'd rather take more from a more diverse team. From every country rather than concentrating on Wales, England, Ireland.
Right.
Let's get some more Scots on here. So that's really where most of my question marks were from the Scotland region, but it's there were some others.
Right. Aki was kind of a shock.
At all. You're right. It was
yeah.
Sorry, who? Sorry.
Aki was a bit of a shock.
Big shock, but I like it.
I'm okay with it. I don't hate it.
Right.
By any means whatsoever. So yeah, we have Adams. That was probably expected. Aki again, kind of a shock. Bigger, expected. Daly was kind of an eyebrow raiser. Like, you sure? I guess his versatility is probably the one thing that saves him. But really, he had a poopy Six Nations, so I was really questioning that one.
But but I did see that there was a report around that what they were looking for in a player, right? And maybe Daly isn't one of the top, basically utility backs. Because that's what he's going to be. He can play anywhere outside 12.
Much anywhere besides 9 or 10 or 12.
Right. But like, he's a guy who will be that bench rotation player and relish the role.
That's true.
Whereas there's going to be some guys who are used to being the man, and they're like, "Wait, now I have to do this? Like, you fucking kidding me?" Like, they'll have an attitude about it, and he won't. So to me, that says a lot too. For the selections, I think that shines through. They're all team players.
Yeah, I think we got some. I think they got some good stuff. Gareth Davies, probably either your 9 or your 21, depending on what you're carrying for forwards there. Farrell. Again, I'm not super shocked because he can play 12 if they want to do that pivot. That's probably the thing that saved him there.
Probably.
Chris Harris, I was so excited to see his name.
I love that.
Fuck yes. That was a name that I love this guy, and I'm so happy he's going to be wearing that red shirt. That's amazing. Robbie Henshaw was kind of an expected one. He was on the lips of a lot of people. Hoggy, he nailed on fullback as long as he's healthy. Like Murray, again, probably whatever jersey Davies isn't wearing, he's wearing it. Ali Price, good to bring him along and just let him experience the Lions. He may well be one of those 9 or 21 jerseys come 4 years in Australia.
Yeah.
LRC, hell yeah. I'm all about that.
Cannot wait.
All about that. Finn, we kind of knew he'd be on the plane. Duhan, we definitely were really pumping him up, and it's really great to see him on there. That was a name I was excited to see. Watson, love it. He was one of the best players for England this past Six Nations and has continued to shine in what's been a Bath season. So loads of good for there.
I thought you were talking the Mish.
No, Anthony Watson. No, we'll get there.
I was like, wait, England and Bath?
No,
what the fuck
no, Anthony Watson. We'll get to that one. Yeah. Also a good pick. Liam Williams, surprise. Didn't think he played that well.
Yeah, but can't argue against it in the end. He's
right.
A pro's pro. Will do the job, and he won't be the best, but
I think with that, we're thinking about Pollard and Faf putting boots to the ball up in the air with him back there potentially. So that's probably the ideas there as well. So even if he's playing 14, and being that helpful guy back there. In the forwards, Ty Byrne, that was one I was hoping would be called. I had his name on my sheet for potential Lions. The way he played the Six Nations, totally worth it. Conan, again, there's a couple guys you could trade out for Conan, and they're probably all the same, honestly. So whatever. Conan, Stander, Vanderfleer, you could really take any one of them, and it'd be okay. LCD was probably one we thought would be on the plane.
Yeah, it was one of those, are you going to take 2 English hookers? That was really the only question around that.
Right, and we found that answer.
Yep.
Curry, again, I didn't think was amazing, but I get his ability and all that, and really,
he's one that
I wanted to take ahead of him. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot. That's the other thing, because again, England are well represented here. I would have looked in a different direction, but I can't argue it. He's fucking good. He's just not like fantastic. He's not like upper tier yet, but he's only fucking 23. So
right, that's really hard to argue.
So let's keep that. Let's keep this in perspective.
Keep that in perspective for sure.
He's a puppy. He's going to be around a while. He's going to get a lot better.
Right, as we said, Xander Fagerson. Yeah, probably a little bit. Falatau, yes, he played so well since he's moved to 6 in that Bath shirt and carried it through to the Six Nations. So awesome for him. Again, Furlong, we talked about, probably nailed on starter for a tight head. Jinx, he's in there. We knew that was possible. Henderson was a bit of a eyebrow raiser, but really James Ryan. Is there a difference?
I think I like Henderson. I'm leaning in Henderson's direction.
Dickens.
For a while. Dickens. Dickens. He's I think he's been playing better. So I like it's one of those you can 6 of one, half dozen the other, but that's why you just pick on form. And Henderson has been just
quite good, including that try we saw him score against Leicester the other week.
Yep.
Johnny Hill, we kind of thought would be on the plane after the way he's played both for Exeter and for England.
Take that boot.
Yeah. No second row has a boot like that. Morrow, he was in conversation for captain, so duh.
Yeah, duh.
Wyn Jones, we thought we're probably thinking he's either on the bench or the starting loose head, depending on the day. Courtney Laws, I get it.
I'm struggling to like it.
I get it though. Like, dude, the guy is just, think about the second rows he's going against. So that's the thing.
No, that is the thing. That's
he'll match them. He'll match them.
Right. If you want to, he's your like kind of swing utility. Like he'd be your 20 potentially on the bench. And you're just like, you're going to put him somewhere and he's just going to kick ass for, if you need to bring him in 20 minutes in, he'll kick ass for 60 minutes.
Yes, he will.
And if you need to bring him in for 20 to 30 minutes, he will kick all sorts of ass in that. So it's like, okay, that's his role.
Yes.
Point to me a better 30-minute lock.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's
like
not on this.
And he'll just run it in. He'll just gas out happily.
Yeah. So and he'll relish his role. So that's what I was getting to earlier. Laws. I don't like it, but I like it in context.
In context, yep. Ken Owens, we're probably thinking he's probably the starting hooker right now, unless he really falls off. Porter has definitely been miles ahead of Kean Healy, so good for him. Sam Simmons, fuck you, Eddie. Yes. This is such a thumb in the eye of Eddie Jones, and I fucking love it. I am so happy for this guy. He has just been, we'll talk about other guys in a little bit, but fucking hell, this was just, I think there were more people cheering for this than not, honestly. Like, this was about a 99% people that went yes and a 1% people that are just poopy pants and went no.
I saw an argument made that look at James Lowe and how his transition to the international game went, and it's like, but
Simmons has played international rugby before. That's the thing. Don't forget that. He's played and he's done fine. So like to make that argument, if you're talking about somebody that's not capped at all, okay, fine, get it.
But you look at his skill set too. And the way he doesn't just have one way to beat you. Even this weekend, he scored 2 pushover tries, and yet he also has like, a 40-meter try at some point. Like
a couple of them, I think.
He's got some gas to him. So it's like, he's versatile. And in ways he can beat you, which is what you need at the international. He's got all the tools. It's not like James Lowe. Yeah, he's fucking fast and has a little wiggle to him, but all of a sudden he's going against guys who have a little wiggle to them too. Simmons knows how to handle it. Forward, he's who plays like a back. So
he's a matchup nightmare. Okay, you want to put a forward on him that can probably stop him. All right, well, he's gonna friggin' run by them. And if you want to put a back on him that's gonna be able to keep up with him, he's just gonna run over him. It's a matchup nightmare, and anybody that says otherwise is really not paying attention. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come on.
Even at the international level, he'll require 2 defenders.
100%.
So yeah.
Yeah, that was a smart pick by him. There's no way he doesn't help this team.
Love it.
Rory Sutherland, we talked about diversity, and the props is probably a good way to get some. And it's not like he's a terrible scrummager, so you're going to need a couple of them against the South African team anyway. So
right.
Tipperick, I thought he was going to be on the plane for sure. This guy's a workhorse, no doubt. Mako, again, there's not a lot of props that are quite like Mako Vanapola, so that doesn't shock me at all. Right. And then the Mish. Absolutely 100% deserved to be on this plane. I don't give a shit how big or how small he is. He absolutely
he's not small.
He's not. I know. People are just like, oh, he's too small. I'm like, what? Are you on drugs? Yeah. Either you need to be on more drugs or you need to be off the drugs you're on. One or the other.
Right. No, different drugs.
One or the other. Fix it, please.
Different drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really good team to see going down there, and obviously there's guys that are probably lying in wait because unfortunately the fact is that not all these guys are going because somebody's going to probably get hurt.
Yeah.
So that's a really sad thing. So hopefully there's a few names that I'm hoping aren't hurt, and I won't say them out loud. just so the gods don't hear him.
Right.
Old and new.
But yeah, there's some guys who, obviously are ready to step in at a moment's notice.
100%, and they'll fill in just fine as well.
Yeah,
totally. Okay. We got other things to talk about too, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do.
Super Rugby finals. We'll talk about them both today. Yes, we will. Oh yeah. Also, I want to just give shout out to the Fun Bus, Jason Leonard, who was calling out the names. If you don't know anything about Jason Leonard, please go look him up. He is a party. Also, in many ways, a Lions legend in his own right. So, yeah, and that voice is just so very distinct since he had that operation where they had to go dig into his cervical spine, but they need to move his voice box to get to it. So it's a pretty noticeable voice. So as soon as I heard it, I was like, it's the Fun Bus. I turned around and there it is. So yes, shout out to the man, Jason Leonard. Love that dude. Super Rugby finals. Oh boy. Let's talk about New Zealand and your boys.
Yeah, let's get through that.
We'll get through that, slog through that. We talked about 2 yellow cards before, and really, it comes down to the yellow card period for the Chiefs.
I think fucking Damian McKenzie missed 3 penalty kicks.
That also does not help.
Like that's the game, because right there, maybe that's not. I know it's only 9 points, but that means you're at the end of the match. You're in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be pulling that kind of bullshit. I'm sorry. Like that's where he's been aggravating me of late. He was dead nuts in the regular season. I don't know why he had those kind of problems. It's not like it was affecting everybody. It was kind of just him.
Right.
Really annoyed by that.
Yep.
Really annoyed by that.
I would be too.
That's yeah. And really not much more to say. The Chiefs played so well other than that. Like they did everything you need to do.
They were right there the whole time. Yeah.
And that's when, like, you get down in the yellow card and they still had the, even when it wasn't a yellow card, I thought their forwards were winning, good go forward and kind of outplaying the Crusaders forwards. Peter Gus had a huge game.
Yeah, he had a great game
in space. Had some offloads and some passes in space, the stuff that he wouldn't normally do or hasn't in the past. If this is the player he's going to be, yes, please.
Right.
But then so you have all of that, and then you get a penalty with 2 men up, and you kick for fucking points. No, put it in the goddamn corner and drive it over.
Absolutely.
And especially after the second miss, it's like, okay, put that shit away and let your forwards win the match. And Damian McKenzie's like, no, I'm Damian McKenzie. I'm going to smile and miss the fucking. I'm so fucking angry about that.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. But in the same thing, it's just that it's that weird aura around the Crusaders that it's like,
yeah,
it finds a way to work, and I can't understand it sometimes.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like I went into that match thinking, obviously we talked about this last week, had no under no illusions that the Chiefs were going to win. So the outcome was kind of expected. It was just frustrating the way it happened, but it always is against the Crusaders, right? I think that's what it is. Because they make you beat yourself, and they
certainly did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, and geez, Richie Mwanga still not terrible at all that after all that as well. So
yeah,
we saw
down 2 men. He's still finding space and cutting through and running. Fucking
yeah. Would you say Lester Fainga'anuku is probably a 13 for a long time?
I would fucking put him there and leave him there.
Yeah,
no question.
Same. Yeah, he started as a wing, but he's built himself into a 13, I believe.
Plus, you want Bridge and Reese, and
it's the only way you're going to get them all on the field anyway.
So yeah, right. And I think he works really well at 13. So yes, it's
agreed. Yep. And we saw the return of Braden Enor as well. That is bad news for everybody playing Trans-Tasman this coming week.
A little bit.
Oh man, that is not good news for anybody out there. So yeah, have fun with that one, guys. I thought Alex Nankerville played pretty well as a 12. I think that's That's a guy that could probably see hanging around that position for a while.
I guess. I mean, is Goodhue sticking around?
I mean, for the Chiefs, not the Crusaders, but
sorry, I don't know. The Chiefs backline wasn't that
impressive.
I wasn't that impressed. So
no, there wasn't a lot.
I didn't really.
Although I, for the guy he had to go against and has to go, and a lot of things he has to live up to. I thought Bryn Gatlin played fairly well for.
He totally did
for him.
Was till he had to come out.
Yeah.
Whoops. that might have been match. Because the Chiefs were, putting on a show with him in there, and then he comes out and they don't really have a 10. And that McKenzie is going. He has enough. He can do 15, or he can do 10. He can't do both. And he kind of had to do double duty there, and it didn't really work out. So the rest of the backs, I was just not that. No, I was much more happy with the forwards.
Right. Yep, I agree. So Crusaders do it the fuck again. Who knew? It's annoying as hell, but it's what they do well. It's what it is. Let's talk a little bit about the Super Rugby AU, because we haven't talked about it a whole lot on here. If this guy, if his rise from the ashes has not been completed yet, it is now.
Well, that's it.
James O'Connor.
It doesn't get more risier than that.
Oh my God. What an absolute hero for this Reds team. Complete batshit craziness at the end of this game as well. And geez, you got to believe that Nick Barry was at the edge of his nerve and just ready to award a fucking penalty try, because he's like, stop fucking committing so many damn penalties.
Right. But you can't, because you can't, like,
there was no actual reason to.
Right. Until Tupou thought it was Tupou. Everyone thought it was Tupou.
Right.
Everyone's cheering, and then they've even fooled the camera. But I fuck Nick Barry. What credit to be like, that's not a try. I'm holding my position, and then waiting for, like, he's right there to award the try when
O'Connor's ready to fall over finally.
Fuck. What a way to end.
Yep. And it was just hanging on for dear life for the Brumbies too. They were just like, please let us get the ball once so we can get the fuck out of here.
Or have, please let the Reds be inaccurate in a ruck, like something, but instead they were inaccurate at the breakdown.
Yep. And they just kept getting it. And, obviously they got on Barry's last nerve to the point where they were sitting on 2 yellow cards. As soon as they went on 2 yellow cards, they were both in the forwards. I was like, oh, they are so fucked. Yeah. They're so fucked. One in the forwards, one in the backs you can kind of deal with. Yeah, as soon as it was both forwards, it's just like, oh, this scrum's going to be assholed. And sure enough, it was.
But then the quick tap for the prop work, got him to the line. Almost over. So, they did that so many times though. Oh, the nerve, like that was
nervy.
I was like, I had no rooting interest really, other than I wanted a good match, and fuck, that was intense.
Yep, that was intense just there. I can't imagine being in that stadium, being a Reds fan. Really cool to see that stadium packed out again too. That was an awesome atmosphere. I'm sure most of those Reds players were drawing wood, honestly. That was a really intense atmosphere.
Who was it that was just punching the air for like 5 minutes after the try?
I don't know. I didn't see who it was.
Cap, I couldn't tell.
Wasn't McWright, was it?
It may have been.
Yeah. Or Uru.
No, McWright has I think it might have been Uru. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
Either one.
Right. It was just but fuck. And O'Connor sets up the kick anyway. Doesn't just be like, fuck it, I don't care. No, fucker says, I'm getting my due. I'm getting my 7.
Yep. And James O'Connor 19, Brumby 16. It says, fuck it. Yeah. Got you.
Good for him. Just good for that whole team.
Fantastic match. And we saw it from we saw it in England as well, but really good to see the emotion coming out of Tupou, and just like, big boys, big fellas cry too.
Hell yeah.
The big fellas absolutely.
Fucker played 85 minutes, 86, I guess, in a final at tight head prop.
There's a reason he's not starting this weekend.
If you've never played prop, you will not understand what that means.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
It's an unbelievable feat, and that's you go ahead, Big Man, cry after that. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You earned it.
And he missed his mama too, so I can't say
can't
say I blame him for that one. So it's a big congratulations to the Reds and Brad Thorne and just finally getting that over the line and bringing themselves to Super Rugby glory in many ways and really just making it laying that final marker down, saying we are here and we are not going anywhere. So
Australian rugby seems to be pretty good. I'm really looking forward to this.
This will be interesting. I want to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
And one more congratulations to Amy Parrott for being the assistant referee in this final.
And well done.
Yeah, well done to her. Anybody that fucking all the misogynists that are just like, I'm just like, shut up before I kick your head in, please.
But if I can go back, O'Keefe did a good job in the.
I know. I was like, "What? He did a good job." Lies. So many lies.
Yeah, Jared didn't believe me when I said that. I was like,
"Why would I?"
I couldn't tell him the whole time because we went to the Free Jacks match and I'd seen the
I hadn't quite got to that final yet,
and so I was just, and I couldn't tell him about the Oz final either, and I'm just like, motherfucker, we can't talk about this. And
I'll do better.
Yeah, all I could say was O'Keefe. I actually was okay with O'Keefe, and there was disbelief. So.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. Oh, all right, let's go to the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah. Friday night, Sale Leicester.
Meh.
A whole lot of meh, and really, for winning the man of the match. For the man of the match award, AJ had a couple of meh moments too.
Yeah, he wasn't
a couple of shanks. I'm like,
yeah, he missed a lot.
This is very non-AJ. What the hell? The hell, man? What the hell's going on over here?
Weren't there 2 yellows in this match?
Oh, there definitely were. There was at least 2.
I thought we were down to 13 again at one point.
Let's see. We have a John-Luc Dupria and we have a Luke James yellow.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about the circle of hell. Oh my Lord. Sale, Leicester, and fucking Tom Foley.
Yeah. No, thank you. But I still thought Leicester could have pulled it out.
If they made a slightly stronger team, they probably could have.
Oh, and Murray Muravalu scored and Foley called it back. Let's not forget that, sir.
I don't understand that. I was like,
how is that? That was in tackle. You get one motion. He's chose his motion to go forward once, didn't crawl, just took one.
Just took the one movement and scored it. Like, I don't understand how that's
always a try. That, like, every other match that's a try, but Foley's got to be a dick about it.
Yeah, can we get Holly Davidson into like the Prem and because she can do a better job than this guy or Matt Carley, honestly. Definitely. Fuck them both. Fuck them both.
And I will say I don't understand the George Martin situation with the national team.
I don't either.
He had a similar situation to Murray Muravalu, but for a lock and especially for an international level lock, you expect them to really, before they go to deck, get that 1 or 2 more inches that they're not supposed to get in the Prem at that level. Like you should be winning that. You had the opportunity to and just didn't have the strength. And it's like that.
Yeah,
it's like a microcosm of the George Martin situation. He's not that. He's a jag at the. Well, I realize he's young as fuck, but
you talk about a jag, but yeah, you're right. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, beats the shit out of me.
Those are my only thoughts. Really.
Yeah, Sale were able to finish it off, so they at least got themselves over the line as they should have.
Yeah.
We'll take a jaunt over to Franklin's Gardens on Saturday. Again, another meh match. Northampton were a whole bag of meh.
I wanted to quell the rumors now. I did not smoke up the Northampton Saints before the match.
They didn't even come out of the. I'm not even sure they got to the stadium, honestly. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Like,
they were terrible.
They were not good. They were not good at all. And credit to the Gloucestermen for fronting up and making this their match when Northampton decided that they didn't want to. But fuck.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not. No disrespect to Gloucester. Gloucester played a hell of a match. I'm just saying that the Saints just didn't bother to show up. And credit to Henry Taylor for deciding, you know what, we're not getting fucking goose egged this match. I'm gonna just take it for a try.
Yeah, he did.
That good for him.
Way to go, Henry.
For being a guy who, one of the few Saints who's like, you know what, I kind of want to play some rugby today.
Yeah, not sure many others really wanted to. They were more interested in the handbags and the aftermath.
But can we talk about the guy who celebrated being named a Lion with just a fucking
double
day with a double? And they pulled at 62 because they're like, all right, Louis, you've scored enough. We can be done.
Yeah. I'm sure they were like, wrap you in bubble wrap.
We don't need you for the rest of this, so you're coming off. You're good.
Yeah, really, you could probably play him in one more match and then bench him. Honestly,
yeah, it's time. It might be time for him to rest up for the Lions tour.
Because Gloucester are going nowhere,
right?
And I'm sure Warren Gatlin's like, please don't break him.
Yeah, although let's see, are they in contention? They're not. I'm saying they only have to do is get to 8 to get to the Champions Cup.
Oh, that's the stupidest thing ever. I'm sorry we haven't talked about it, but god damn it, that's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, they're only 2 points away. 2 points away.
Yeah, let's make 2/3 of the league fucking worth.
Yeah,
half I get, but let's really
it's a lot.
Bath and Leicester are they really going to add to the Champions Cup next year?
No,
or maybe Wasps will if they can unseat Leicester. But for fuck's sake, just come on. I hate this.
You can express yourself. Don't have to hide your feelings.
Oh, come on, man. You're killing me over here with this. The 8th best team in France and whatever the fuck it's going to be for.
It's going to be a shit show.
Oh, those teams are going to get housed. That's all that's going to happen.
Yep.
I fucking hate it. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Anywho, all right, let's go over to Sandy Park because that's a quick one to talk about. The wind just kind of was the thing, and then once Exeter got the wind, that was the end.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, I'm glad Worcester kind of showed up a little bit for this one. And started well, but
they did.
I knew that win was going to be a bad news thing when they switched sides. I was like, this win's not going to be very nice, is it?
No.
as we set the standards, Dave Ewer scored in this goddamn match. So
right, so that's a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stu Townsend, Jack Vermeulen, those were the end of the match, but still, for fuck's sake,
you're right. That's just when it's over. I don't think I even saw those tries. I think I what was it? I
had it on in the background, and the only reason I saw it is because I saw the Townsend one because they were really hyped about it.
All right.
The Slade try was actually quite good though, so we can talk about that one. That one was quite a bit of skill.
Talk about a guy who had something to say about not making the Lions. Right. That's the guy putting his hand up saying, yeah, I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm going to fucking kick ass anyway.
Yep. There were a couple guys that did that this weekend.
Yeah. I guess we'll get to a couple others later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so, that was good. Yeah. Sam Simmons, as we talked about, he can score in many ways. He got a couple pushover tries in this one, but we know he can do much more than that.
Right.
So good on him.
But he can do that.
George Martin, he can do that. Yeah. I know. Right. Jesus. George Martin can't even do that.
Right.
Goddamn. So let's go over to Kingston Park and kind of an unexpected result, at least in the volume that it was at. Wow. Hello, Newcastle. Where you been?
Fucking A.
Right.
Fuck. I don't know what else to say. I feel, like that. They just fucking manhandled them.
Yeah, the Rona yellow was really where Newcastle decided they were going to take it by the scruff of the neck. McGuigan got one and Stevenson got one, and then shortly after that, Coca his was
gorgeous.
Good. Yeah, and shortly after that, Coca responded, young Coca, but still, Conan picked back, and the Newcastle decided that this was their match for a while. Even early on, they decide this is our match. Mm-hmm. Parton got the thing going, but really, Newcastle after that kind of woke up and said, all right, we're in this. We're doing this. No questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know who the other guy that signed an extension was Phipps. He signed an extension at Illinois.
Oh, cool.
That's what I saw. I saw another one.
All right.
I was kicking myself not remembering.
I like that. He's solid.
Yep. Especially without me in there.
Yeah.
And Nick Room's not going to be your fucking 9 for anything that's productive. That's for sure. So about that. So this was a really good performance from Newcastle. I think this is what Dean Richards really wanted out of his club, and that's the good stuff on the boys from way up north. So good on them.
If I can say two things, Ben Stevenson's try and the Ben Loader, just his effort all day and tries. Johnny May could not have scored any one of those. I know. And I will leave it at that.
I know it. Loader's played really well the last few weeks. So
he's been amazing.
Good on that boy. Yeah. I love it. That makes a hell of a back three for that team.
I can't remember what the decline trade was. I offered Loader to George a little bit ago, and I'm really glad he didn't take him. So thanks, George.
That's funny. Okay, and then the last one for Saturday was started off as quite a doozy. Bath 20, Bristol 40, the old derby match here. Wow. We thought this was going to be an interesting match. Once Priestland intercepted that ball and scored, I was this might be a game.
This could be a game.
And then a young man by the name of Maxwell Malins decided that this was no longer going to be a game, and he was going to take it over.
Yeah. And there were many players that played outstanding in this match. Two of them from the Saracens, and one of them Max Malins. The best, far and away. Like that's where I was getting to, is that of all the people who played well, and he wasn't even man of the match somehow. But
I don't pick that shit.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with the man of the match, but Malins was just he dominated. He took over the game. He said, I'm going to score these tries and win us the game. Yeah,
and he did. And he's just and we saw the Bristol machine purring at full noise with this one too. And this is what they're capable of. And every team should just be absolutely frightened at what this team can do. Barring that they can remember to remove Luke Morahan at some point, because he needs to get the fuck off this team.
Morahan was killing me.
Yeah, that dude. Everything that was good that he did, he find a way to fuck up.
Everything, the forward pass, the crawling over the try line,
yes,
just general butt fuckery.
There's some butt fuckery at play here.
It was just bad. And it's frustrating because I love the guy and
he did well for a long time. It's time for him to be done.
Yeah, I'm done. And the other thing is the thing about it is that the Bears have so many options.
Oh yes,
like you don't need this. He doesn't even need to be in your. I mean, he doesn't need to be in your 23, but like he certainly shouldn't be starting and playing that as much as he did.
Right.
Leoa should have come on.
Yeah, I mean,
earlier.
You have Leoa, you have Nalaga, you have Nia Loken, you have Owen Lloyd. I would take Purdy over Morahan, and that's Purdy. Yeah, I know I missed his name. You're right. Yeah, Purdy. Yeah, I completely forgot about him.
And I'm not saying Purdy is. I'm not the biggest Purdy fan. If you've listened to my take on him, he's a guy. But
he's a guy that's better than Morahan, though.
Like he's a net neutral, right? He might do really well for you, he might do kind of poor for you, but there's not a huge wide range there. Morahan
he's playing in a good system. That's what helps him.
Floor was just way out. It's not. He's not playing Prem worthy rugby. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree. All right, let's jump to Sunday because there's a lot here.
I love this match. I delayed going to my mom's for Mother's Day to watch the end of this match.
That boy. Oh man, I
told her. I texted her. I was like, I'm going to be a half hour late because the game. Okay.
Yes, that's how you know it was a good one. That's how you know it was a good one. Oh fuck. Yeah, I think my mom was on a plane, so I didn't have to deal with that.
There you
go. There's so much of this match, and Eddie Jones was in attendance, right?
I don't know. I
can't remember which match. He was at one match.
Yeah, well,
I hope he watches this match on replay. I hope that he watches this match on replay. Dan Robson, Alex Dombrandt, Marcus fucking Smith. Like, those are three names that should just be jumping out at Eddie Jones and going, if you don't pick me this summer, you should be fired. End of story.
Paolo Odogwu, even though
he should be played. Yes, absolutely. Right. I also agree with that.
Doesn't have a cap yet. So
nope.
Yeah, but those guys were just.
Oh.
Whew.
Yep.
That was such a match of rugby.
But here's the thing. Here's my concern, and we'll dive into the match in a second. But my problem, I was thinking about this with Eddie Jones, like. Has there not been a player that's screaming to be picked more than Sam Simmons?
Marcus Smith.
Besides him.
Alex Stombrandt.
Maybe. So, and we know that the two of them, and here's the thing, like Simmons has been capped even. So, like, you can't even say, oh, he's never played. Well, fucking hell. That argument's out the window between George Martin getting picked and the fact that Simmons has already played. So that argument gets thrown out the window. Fuck that. Right. So my number one concern for this summer for England when they're playing some semi less competition is Eddie Jones is still going to have this fucking stupid stick up his ass. He's going to pick, George Ford, Jacob Umaga, and a bag of lint. And that's pretty much going to be it. Like, no, Ben
Jones, who couldn't fucking play at the Leicester. He was so bad.
He's bad.
Anyway.
And, Robson... Yeah, and Robson, I'm sorry, he has got the skill set that's miles beyond Ben Young's right now. Get the fuck out of here.
And that he can pass to a running target, yes.
Yeah, that helps usually. He can pass while running and do a running target. Those are both useful.
He can do a lot of things like that. Yeah,
those are useful things as a 9 last I checked. And on the other side of him is Danny Kerr. So, all right, I need a scrum half that's actually knows what he's doing. Bring Danny Kerr into the goddamn team. The dude's playing unbelievably. He didn't play amazing this match, but dude's fucking on form for sure.
It was really for lack of opportunity. Like Wasps did a good job around the breakdown, making sure Kerr didn't have anywhere to go with it. So it wasn't that he didn't play well. I thought he played fine. The points weren't there fantasy wise because he didn't get to go for a run.
Right.
They just didn't let him.
Yeah, no, they were smart about it. They were very smart about it.
To Wasps for how they shut that down.
Yeah, and this was a remarkable match. I want to go over every bit of this match. Go watch it, please. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it because this was
how many matches in a row is this where Marcus Smith puts up 7?
Dominates.
It's like the second or third. Like, didn't he just do this to Sale last week too?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Or someone like that. What an unbelievable player, and the confidence, everything all around. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he's they talk about like instinctive players. Like, I don't think he's instinctive. And I think somebody was saying it. Unfortunately, I think it was Healy. But I do agree with it. Like he understands what he's doing. This is not something that's coming from internally. That's like habit or anything like that. Right. He gets what he's doing and he's reading it faster than anybody else, which makes him an unbelievable, almost unstoppable player. And his skill and his talent is just ridiculous.
When I think it was when Healy was diagramming his step out wide. So like it was a floater of a pass, I think that came from Kerr, or it may have come from the inside back,
whatever it was,
and it was just a floater. And instead of running up to catch it to meet it at a tie point, he realizes, hey, there's space out wide, and there's not a defender coming to just light me the fuck up. I have the opportunity if I just step out wide and catch it. It's not going to get intercepted. Like he could see the whole, the multi. It's not difficult. Just players don't see it.
Yeah, and he understood it to a T.
And he just flattens his line and catches it, and the defender is just way out of position, and then boom, 2-on-1 on the outside,
and he's just fucked.
It's like
so many ways he's fucked.
Right. That's not instinct. That's him understanding the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's the thing: not a lot of people do it, and I'm sorry, there's no fucking way George Ford's doing that.
No.
Pissed off.
Ford's gonna jump up for the ball and get fucking crushed.
Yeah. I'm gonna run back inside. Why the fuck are you running back inside?
Right. Because that's what would have happened to Smith had he done that. So it was, excellent, protecting himself and getting in space at the same time. Yeah, Ford's not doing that.
Yep. Agreed.
But yeah, watch the match. Just watch
please go watch that match.
I might watch it on replay later.
I think I'm gonna watch it later too. Jeez, it was so good. All right. down the line, the whip around, and the Free Jacks, the mighty Free Jacks, down the Gilgronis. That is a good team they beat. My goodness. And they were able to do it with some freaking gusto, that's for sure.
With some cojones and some class and everything. Just really well done all around.
Yep. Harry Barlow. Everybody was keying on Doogie Fife, and when you have something like that happening, you need somebody else to make the magic happen, and Harry Barlow did.
He did. They gave him too much space because of the Fife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, he leads the league in tries, so that'll do it.
So yeah, that's exactly as you're saying. He's their strength. The Gilgroni said, "We're going to take away your strength. What are you going to do about it?" And Harry Barlow said, "Hi, I'll do something about it.
I got it. I got you covered, guys. Don't worry."
I know what to do with this one.
Yeah, well done to him. I have to say, my two favorite players on this team are John Poland and Joe Johnston. Absolutely, got to be in my top three. The two
Poland
of them
is unreal.
Yeah,
for being such a pup.
Yep, that run to set up that first try was unbelievable, and it was a great throw from Janssen too. Don't take that away from him too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. I did think the official in this game was really not reading the scrum. We talked about how shitty the referees are understanding the scrum. This is another one. End of story. Right. Really don't need much more than that. And he accused us of not taking the hit. I'm like, are we watching the same match here? I've had a few, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it's going.
Like when we're going down, going forward.
Yeah. So we're not taking the hit. Are you sure?
Right, that's right. Like they're going backwards at that, right at the hit. It's like, no, they're not taking the hit. Like you can see it.
You hammerhead.
Yeah. It's again, as Jared said, it's not that he just doesn't know what he's looking at.
No,
doesn't know. So can we get some officials who at least understand what they're looking at?
Yeah. It sounds like we have two potential ones and maybe a third. I thought Chaudhry was good the other week. Say what you will about JP Doyle, but at least he's seen a lot. He's seen a lot more than some of these guys have. Mm-hmm. So and then Anselmi was doing the Seattle match on Sunday night. The Argentinian referee. So that's pretty cool to have at least them who've got some serious experience at some really high levels.
Yeah.
So that'll only help the league. So yes, it was really good stuff from the Free Jacks, the mighty Free Jacks. And one final note, we talked about Larson's probably not the best player on the New England Free Jacks. He is absolutely a captain though. Very much so. Credit to Josh Larson. He is the captain, and I don't think there's anybody that would ever question that at this point. The way he carries himself. So good on you, Josh. Well done, boy.
And there's some holes in the team, as we talked about. Like and that's why they're not at the top yet, right? They're still developing the team. But they really do need some locks.
Yeah.
I mean, Larson at one lock is fine. No, I'm not. No question there. But they still have another one, and then they have one in reserve, and then one in reserve of that, and then
and it's kind of like which one catches fire.
The cabinet is empty right now.
Yeah,
outside of Larson. So, hope that hopefully help is on the way soon.
Yeah, hope so. But
they're good. That was good, and what a fucking experience being there.
It was so much fun. I love live sport. I forgot how much. I was texting some of my friends, like, I forgot how much fun live sports is.
Yeah.
I just really forgot. And it was such a great reminder last week. So I'm looking forward to the 29th.
Yep, very much so.
Toronto comes into town, and it'll be a good time. So if you're out there in Massachusetts and you're at the Free Jacks game and you're listening to this and you haven't introduced yourself to us, please do so, because I had a lot of fun talking with other people from around the area that I had met through coaching. But yeah, again, if you're on here and you're listening to us and you're going to the Free Jacks game, we want to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so feel free to hit us up. A little whip around. NOLA was able to beat Houston, but Atlanta upended Toronto in that home that battle of Atlanta. Yeah. Utah 34, GC 33. Sounds like it was a nail. Everything was a nail biter this weekend, just about. Somebody said something about like the Zion Stadium being like the most rocking. Well, yeah, Utah has no restrictions right now.
Right.
Because they're fucking backwards. So yes, you have all the fans in your stadium, dipshit. Yeah. No wonder that you're able to rock it. Fucking hell. I love stupid people. New York upended the Guiltinis. They did it. My God, did not think it would be able to be done, but they've done it. Holland's Head played brilliantly in that match for the 10 for New York. Good on them.
It's like that Onion headline, what worst person you know makes a good point. LA lost. Nice. It was New York.
Damn.
Okay, well, now I'm questioning whether I'm celebrating, but
well, I think it's a matter of pulling LA to somebody's actual home stadium. They played an away match this year against the Arrows, but the Arrows aren't playing at home right now. So they actually played a true away match finally, and they found problems. You know, they found a team that was willing to just nut up, and I kind of poo-pooed on Hermesheis, and I watched the match, and he played brilliantly for New York. So credit to him and the boys from New York. So good on them. Good on Rooney, and thank you for knocking those guys off. Everybody, thanks you very much. We can't be having somebody running the table quite like that. Otherwise, we are just gonna all be pissed.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
And then Seattle was able to pull out their first home win of the year.
Hey, good for them.
Legion. One final note for the Legion: Sal Bluching should be somewhere in the Eagles lineup come this summer. He's played almost every minute for San Diego, a bad San Diego team at that. And they're just getting crushed. And it's really hard to nut up every time when you're playing for a team like that. But he's done it. He's been one of the really standout guys for them. So loads of credit to him. He'll be on the plane this summer, no doubt. I think he should be in the starting lineup as well. Okay. We have that start to sit thing we talked about before, so let's roll through it as fast as we possibly can. At least there's no FRD to worry about for Prem this year, this week rather. I believe, you're leading us off with
Highlanders.
Highlanders
Reds.
Yes, that one. No, we don't do that right
now. So fuck it. We know kind of somewhat of how the defenses are, but totally different going, across Tasman in a different competition with different playing styles. I'm not sure how well the Highlanders are going to do on this one, but either way, Jimeno has been just a talisman for them. The team, the fans, everybody loves him. So
love it.
And he's productive. So that's why. That's one of the reasons why there's so much love.
That always helps.
Hunt, Nareki, Tompkinson at 14 and Collins at 13.
Beats me.
I'm not really looking forward to either of them. I'd look elsewhere. Because the Reds have a fucking excellent defense too. For the Reds, Liam Wright, James O'Connor. I think I wouldn't worry about the Highlanders being number one against 10s because the 10s in New Zealand play a totally different style than James O'Connor will bring. Much more of a running style. Jock Campbell, Josh Fluke, Philip Daguno, and Haggerty. Highlanders are worst versus outside back and second worst versus mids. So lots to work with the Reds team.
100%. All right. Taz and Canes. Yeah. Canes, both teams are pretty leaky, but not as bad. Canes are pretty leaky, not as bad as others. Should provide some value for the Taz at the very least. Ben Donaldson, the Taz 10, Hurricanes are bottom 3 against Flyhouse. Why not? Let's do it.
Take a flyer.
Will Harris is the best loose forward the Taz have, and the Hurricanes are very weak against loose forwards. So that's probably your guy that you're going to pick out of that crew there. Taz front row, you might have another option now that all 10 clubs are playing. Hurricanes are number 2 versus front rows right now. So that would be something I would consider at this point at the very least. For my mighty Hurricanes, Taz are dead last in points against per match. So start licking your chops, Canes owners. Ruben Love, I have been banging this guy's drum for a while. Taz are dead last against 10s. So he's got the talent to make this an absolute shit show for them. So let's do it. James Blackwell, when is it good to play a random lock? When they're playing the bottom team against locks. The Taz, extra points in your lap. If you can grab either him or Walker Leo Weary, go for it. Why not? On the other side, Reed Princep, Taz aren't as soft against loose forwards as other spots. And I think he's the odd man out in that 6 hole. Well,
this is going to be a fantastic match. I am very much looking forward to it. 2 finalists, Crusaders, Brumbies.
Crusaders are going to be hung over shit.
Yes,
that's what I'm thinking.
Agreed. And the Brumbies they're a good defensive team. And they might be a little aggrieved. And you want to, if you lose to one championship team, might as well take out another. So anyway, but the Brumbies are number 1 against loose forwards, so I'd hold off there with the Crusaders. Mwanga, if he plays, I'm assuming he will. Big yes. Again, Brumbies are number 1 versus outside backs, and number 2 versus mids. So, but I still wouldn't shy away from that Fainganuku, Bridge, Havili, even Reese and Jordan. Yeah, go with them anyway, because they just haven't faced a team like the Crusaders anyway. On the Brumbies end, Valentini, I think, should have a huge day because the Crusaders will give up points to loose forwards. Lolesio, because you just can't not play him. And the Thomases, Sir Banks and Wright.
Yep.
Go ahead with them.
They're both quite good. Rebels and Blues. This will be interesting. Blues are 4th in points against per match. I do believe we'll find some value for the Rebels, though. Rebels front row hasn't been magical this year. Blues are 2nd worst against front rows, though, so that's a thumbs up right there. Michael Wells. Blues are tough against loose forwards, but there's always one that gets their share, and he seems to always just find a way to get his share, even if it's only like 8 or 9. That's pretty good for a loose forward. So I give him a yes as long as you don't have another option. On the other side of the coin, Lewis Holland typically lines up in the midfield. You might see him because they're going to probably get a little experimenty since what's his face is on his way out, Vessels. He's a mid. The Blues are not nice to mids. He's also listed as an OB. Pine him. Just no. That's the one guy that you're probably looking to go bye-bye. On the other side of the coin, Rebels are actually 3rd in points against per match. So, whoops. The Blues outfit is completely different from what they've played against, though. So, also just let's consider that. For the Blues, Harry Plummer, if he's back at 12, he's worth the role. Rebels aren't strong against the midfield, assuming you're missing a fly half. Maybe you are. Maybe Mwanga doesn't play this week. Lolesio, something like that. That could be your option right there. If you have to start one of the Blues loose forwards, I think it's a 2-2 over Akira, assuming it's a 2-2 is the one at 8, just because of that simple number being on his back usually. That's probably it right there. Whoever is Caleb Clark's replacement, Caleb Clark has left to go pursue the Olympic dreams. Probably not a good week for him. Yes, I agree. Probably not a good week for that person, whether it's him or whoever it is. AJ Lamb, whoever it is, Ben Lamb's brother. Yes. Pat Lamb's nephew. Anyway, probably not a good week to be getting too creative, especially if you're chasing down a playoff spot like some of us are, but not me.
Force versus Chiefs. So I was doing some research around the Force because I was like, okay, well, let me see who actually scores well for them. And during my investigation, can I give some real talk here?
Not much, huh?
Sam Whitelock, the lock, has more points this year than anyone on the Force.
Wow. And I have him, but damn.
Oluwafela, Miati, Kahui, Anstey, and the front row are close.
Okay.
But
damn,
he's a lock.
It speaks a little bit to Sam Whitelock, but also speaks to the Force. So
yeah, but he doesn't even have that many points. He has 71 points, which is
so nobody's cracked triple digits.
That's
Yikes.
decent for a lock, but
right
for a lock.
Yeah, it's a lock.
So yeah, so the people I named, Kubeli could play reasonably well because he's kind of been a late addition and as far as playing, because he signed kind of right towards the beginning of the season, had to quarantine.
Right, yeah, he had to quarantine all that shit.
And because the Chiefs are soft against 9, so he could actually have a day, and he's probably going to be on the waiver wire. Man down. Yep. Koteka and Anstey. Chiefs are 9th versus loose forwards, so there's potential points there. The Chiefs are number 3 versus fly half, so not worth it for Miati or McIntyre unless you're really fucking in a bind.
Oh man,
but on the other
you're
side,
not in that kind of bind, man.
But on the other side, it's just open season. Vai and Akoi, if they're the locks. I'm even going down to lock. Yes, start them.
Woo!
Bashir and Soakula, you're going for it this week.
Yeah, if Peter Gus plays the way he did last week, I see no reason not to.
Right. And Bashir has been quite the runner, so he'll get you those FRD points too.
Yeah, good for him.
Gatland is a fantastic matchup. As I think I said Weber, but if I didn't, Weber,
that guy too.
Just and as disappointing as I found the back line last week, go for it this week. And even if Gatland's not starting, if they're going with what's his face, can't remember. Go with their 10, no matter who it is. Honestly,
whoever it is,
somebody worth playing there.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, fuck.
I like Gatland. I only want Gatland.
Yeah,
but if it's not Gatland,
if it's not him, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. All right. So that brings us to this fun little thing called Start and Sit of the Week. After his performance in the latest final, I'm thinking he'll be ready to back it up against an opponent of slightly lesser quality. His club will also be ready to bounce back. So, on all that, my start of the week for week 13, first week of Trans-Tasman in Super Rugby, is the Chiefs midfield stalwart, Alex Nankivell.
All right. I like that. Okay. I'm down with that. I think that's excellent selection. Mine is there's going to be a little bit of hangover, but he's in the starting lineup, and I don't really have that much respect for the opponent. Just put it that way. And actually, both my start and sit will come from the same match.
Okay.
So my start of the week is for the Reds, Filippo Donguno.
Ooh, I like. Yeah, I like. I mean, he came in for Pataya, and unfortunately, Pataya is going to be out for a wee bits here.
But he's been fucking excellent. So
yeah, when he's gotten his shot, he's played quite well. So I will give you that one for sure. All right, my sit is going to be a bit of a eye popper, I think. Sometimes this guy will disappear now and again, not through any fault of his own necessarily. He has a lot of help around him, and that'll do it sometimes in terms of your fantasy score. It tends to also happen against tough defenses for his sake. So all those factors put into place, my sit of the week for week 13, first week of Trans-Tasman, as I said, in Super Rugby, is All Blacks and Crusaders flying winger Sevu Reece.
Wow, that is.
Like I said, I went on the limb for this one. Fuck it all.
I decided to play it safe on this one.
I can't say
And I questioned it earlier. Michael Collins at 13, especially against a team that's so fucking good through the middle. I really don't like that 12, 13, 14 combination right there with the
for them.
It's the whole what's his name, Scott Gregory, who isn't doing shit at 12.
No, he is not.
Tompkinson isn't doing much better at 13, and then you move him out to 14. And
that's a gross one right there. I agree.
So I don't know unless the Highlanders have something crazy up their sleeve with this.
Right. It's like what are you guys doing over there?
Right.
I don't understand.
Unless they invent new types of running lines or flow lines with these backs. They've got really, like I said, they got something up their sleeve that no one's ever seen before.
Right.
I'm not really feeling it.
I like Tony Brown, but yeah, that's just kind of this is an odd one right here. Okay, moving on. Next. All right, let's go to the Prem. I think I'm leading us off because of Friday night's match. Yep, Bath versus Sale. This is going to be a long week for TRM, so just keep your eyes peeled as things go. No FRD this week, as we mentioned. Bath versus Sale. Sale at top 2 in TRM still. Shocker of the day. I still think there's some value to be found with the Bathmen. Miles Reed, not as highly owned as others, but still worth the play if he's in. Sale are middling to at best against flankers, so I love the kid. Give him a thumbs up. He's also not super expensive. Anthony Watson, if he's at fullback, he's a play. Sale are second worst against fullbacks in TRM as well, and his dancing will make them look silly. Another bad week for Will Stewart, unfortunately. So Sale are third against props. So I'm sorry to say, Mr. Stewart, you're going to sit him as well.
It's just him now in the front row.
I know, and he doesn't have any of his cohorts, although I do like Jack Walker, but still, nope.
Yeah, he's not done.
Not this week. Bath are bottom 2 in TRM against points against. Surely we can find something from Sale to play, right? Somebody that'll score. In this format, I'm actually okay with Cobus Visa, even if he's in the second row. Bath are awful against second rows, so if you have him, give him a thumbs up. I've gotten rid of Tom Dunn. I don't know if I'm bringing anybody in this week. This is probably not a week I'm bringing a lot of people in.
Right.
I said Cameron Neal's name last week. This week, same thing. He's eligible at flanker. Bath are awful against flank. He's eligible at hooker. Bath are awful against flankers. There's the words I was looking for. So if he's in at flanker, give him a go. That's pretty good flanker to hooker to grab there that can play flanker. Very not quite Barbary, but he's a good sub. On the other side of the coin, Bath are second worst against scrum halves, but as we pointed out many times, he doesn't do the things that you want for the sake of points, especially when you have guys like Danny Kerr, Andy Aaron, Alex Mitchell, Ben Spencer, all out there possibly, with points to be had from the stuff they do. So sorry, that's still not a good play this week.
Yeah. On to the Rico, right? It's for now. For Wasps Worcester. Worcester are the worst fantasy defense in the rugby mag. But they're strong against props. So I know
that's funny. Well, Ethan Waller shown it.
Yeah. So yeah, some people have West. I maybe give him a look elsewhere. Like I said, so sit the props. Tommy Taylor should score pretty well if he's at hook. If his face is okay. His pretty face. Fuck. Why would you do that?
Don't fuck the face up, Tommy.
We didn't even talk about that, but we'll get to it later. Fuck. There are better options than Tommy Young or Brad Shields, especially for the value. They're just not good value in TRM. So that's the only reason I'm saying avoid them. They'll probably score okay, but not worth. You can get more for less. Rob Miller has been just dog shit lately. Yeah. Everyone else is a go. Obviously, Le Bourgeois. There's always the Le Bourgeois exception. I really do think though that Wasps have found their 12-13 combination there with Fekitoa and Odogwu. I think there's no doubt that's the lineup. I really hope they stick with that, and that will do very well in this match. Yeah. On the other side, just like they did last week to Danny Kerr, Hugard, I expect a lower result, so maybe worth a bench spot this week, but definitely not a start. Of the flankers, Ted Hill might be the only good option. Wasps are number one against eights, but although they're bad against flankers, I just don't like their eights or six options right now.
Maybe Sam Lewis if he pulls his head out of his ass.
Maybe, but he's a gotta see it guy.
He is
going back a ways. He's been mediocre for a while. It's disappointing.
It is.
Don't touch whoever's at 10. The Wasps are 5th versus centers, 3rd versus wings, and 8th versus 15s. So maybe Nick David if he plays. Everyone else from Worcester, you can have a better option somewhere else.
Benter's not usually bad, but yeah, I don't disagree. All right, Leicester and Quins. Quins are middle of the pack in TRM points against, so you should find a few spots to find joy for Leicester. For the Tigers, I can't believe I'm saying this. Ben Youngs. Harlequins are bottom against scrum half, so yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly. If they choose to go with him, or even if they choose to go with Wiggles, it's probably fine. Jack Van Poortvliet's an absolute go if he's in there. Yes. I love his playing styles especially for this format. Cobus Van Vick could be an okay option this week. Harlequins are approaching bottom against wings, so if you have him, this is probably the week to finally fucking throw him into your lineup. Mateus Moroni, I love him. I think he's been great for their club, but this is not great because Harlequins are second best against centers. Maybe put him on your bench because I think he might still find some way to produce, but you just don't want to risk it as him as a starter. Leicester on the other side are 4th against TRM and TRM against points against, but this is the Quins team that just has so much firepower. So let's think about that as well. There's a lot of the obvious names. I want to throw a couple other ones out there. Joe Marler, he's pretty damn expensive, but he could be worth the penny that you've paid this week. Leicester are second worst against props. So go for it. Our man Paul Ezekiel will turn to the lineup this week. And if he's in, because we saw Quins kind of getting decimated with their midfield a little bit. They're very injury ridden. Leicester are middle of the pack.
Very red carded.
Yeah, Leicester are fucking brownie. We didn't even talk about that. Leicester are middle of the pack against centers, and I'd put him as a strong consideration as well. If you've plunk down for him. And this is not a week to get cute with Kenningham or Laude. Leicester are second against flankers. So as much as a cute option as that sounds, maybe try another week.
Hey, but Kenningham did get all his, he got, how many tackles did he have?
He had a lot of tackles.
That alone will get you those points in TRM. So that's the only reason why you kind of, some players like that are matchup proof, but that's the only thing I would say on Kenningham's behalf.
Right.
He still will get you the tackles. Okay, over to Newcastle Northampton. This is an interesting fantasy matchup. I fucking love it. The Saints have moved up to the 3rd overall defense.
Who knew?
But mostly by just shutting down forwards. They're still leaky towards backs, but here's the trouble for the Falcons. They really went through their forwards last week.
Yeah, Robinson, McGuigan.
Callum Chick had 32.
Oh, yeah.
31. Those were their biggest scores. Conan had 32, but that was like 7 conversions and a penalty. So that you had to have the kicking aspect to get any of those points. And I don't know who the fuck would start and give the K to Conan over any other option. So,
right.
Either way, you can't expect something like that, because if Newcastle can't really go through their forwards, Newcastle can't go through their forwards, it's going to be trouble for their backs, because their backs aren't game winners by themselves. They're not there yet.
They need the help.
Yeah. So McGuigan might be worth a bench spot at best. Saints are number 2 versus hookers, but he's pretty good no matter what. And could go off for 30. You don't want that. You'd rather have 15 on your bench and maybe deal with like 2 or 3, but still have a solid starter who's not George McGuigan this week. Their 3rd versus 2nd row. So Peterson and Robinson are iffy. Callum Chick has been great. Might be worth a shot again. If you got him on your team, maybe throw him on your bench. On the other side, fucking everyone. Ribbons and Wood. I'm going locks here. Ludlam. Newcastle are worst versus 2nd row and flankers. So yeah, your Ribbonses, your Wood, your Ludlams, go. Harrison, even they're 8th versus 8th. I wouldn't go with Aidendorf. Lots of aids in there, but Harrison, go. Bigger, Grayson, go nuts. And the centers and wings all should have big days.
Hey-o.
Fullback too, even if it's
Burbank.
He'll have a big day.
Yeah. Wow. Yeesh. All right. Bristol and Gloucester. Bristol remain number 1 in points against per match. And it's just bad news. Gloucester will be feeling themselves a little bit after last week, though. So that helps.
I'd sit LRZ for this one anyway.
Ed Slater, he's their best lock, and there's usually 1 second row that does well, and that was a great try that he scored, by the way. We can talk about it, but that was a really good one. So he's their best second row. Bristol usually give up points to 1 second row. I think he's the winner. Santi Carreras, I think will have a lot of attention being given to LRZ. He might be the one that finds the space in that case. So we'll see. If you got to start one of them, that's probably the one. Not that I don't like LRC.
Right.
Billy 12 Trees, especially if he's at fly half, is not a good one this week. No. Bristol are number 1 against fly halves, and that's not his best position. Let's be real. Also, why is Josh Gray 6% owned from Gloucester? That's not Johnny Gray, guys. And he hasn't played a minute this year. He hasn't even played a minute. So those are people that are probably just kind of got their heads up their bums. Yeah. Just listen. If you're here and you have Josh Gray, get rid of him, please. Do yourself a favor. Just save yourself some
Jared's
money.
Sanity.
Yeah, for everybody's sanity. I mean, it's not much, but man, that's 100. That's 100 odd in back in your kitty.
True. That's true. Oh yeah, it might be people who got him and now he's one of those lightweight paperweights that they're the worst because they don't get you anything.
Just ditch him. Do it now before everybody else does. On the other side of the coin, Gloucester are 8th in TRM points against, so this match might make it worse. Where to begin? Siali Piatel, I'm good with this week in this format. He does enough and isn't super expensive. Gloucester are awful against centers, so if he's in there, go ahead. Will Capon, if it's not Bubbles, he's still a winner.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Gloucester are bottom against hookers, so that's a big old thumbs up.
What if Thacker comes back?
Jeez,
he's coming back. He was going to be available. I'm just wondering when.
Yeah, he had a backward step, unfortunately. I think so.
Man,
but hopefully we still see him soon. Sheedy, Gloucester are actually number 2 right behind Bristol.
Wow.
Points against first fly-F. But he's a different breed. So if you have someone else, make sure he's on your bench. Or if you see someone else, and they can play somewhere else, like Joe Simmons, Jacob Mumaga, who are both fullback eligible, maybe stick them there and put Sheedy at fly-F because he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. But again, like if you're like Ben and I, and we both have Marcus Smith. Sorry, this is not the week to get cute. Keep Sheedy on the bench. Just leave him there. It'll be all right. I promise. Oh, all right. Starts in 6 of the week.
Oh, I still have the Irish versus Exeter.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's right. That's on like Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Balls.
So Exeter can be had in the forwards, really in the tight 5, and that's about it. And the Irish are just soft defensively. So your Hoskins, your Creevy, not even. I know he's, I think he's still lightly owned, but he's also very cheap. So he's, what was it, 217, only 1% selected. He scores pretty decently when he plays. So I mean, he's been kind of stuck behind Mafi and Simmons a little bit there. So, but if Mafi's healthy, go fucking with him. But otherwise, Simmons, as I said earlier, hold off on Tuisui and Cowan because again, the Exeter are pretty good against those back rowers. Nick Phipps or whoever is at 9 could actually score pretty well. Exeter are leaky there, but everyone else, no. They're Exeter are 4th versus 10s, 3rd versus centers, and 1st versus wings and fullbacks. So all those London Irish people that you love and cherish so much on your team, they're cheap, right? So put them on the pine and start someone else.
Keep them there.
On the other side, Sam Skinner, the Johnnies, Richard Capstick, the Simmonses, none of their 9s. You stay away from the Exeter 9s.
Stay away.
I might hold off on Slade. The Irish are pretty good versus centers, but whoever's in the back 3, just go, enjoy.
Yeah, I hope O'Flaherty kind of pulls himself out of his own ass there.
This would be a good match for that. But he's always been like a streaky guy. Like he's one of those guys who'll go off for like 30 plus points for 3 or 4 matches in a row and then
dog shit
for like 5. That's just his style. It seems
that's the way it's been.
Inconsistent, I think they call it.
Yeah, something like that. All right, now we can do starters of the weeks.
Yes.
Damn midweek matches. So for my start, this guy's form has picked up tremendously over the last few weeks, and he's starting to believe himself. And again, his opposition make this week extra tasty. Paired with his form, I sit start of the week for week 19 of the Prem for TRM only is Wasps' young superstar and Tana's nephew, Jacob Umaga.
I'm so glad I made my change at the last minute. I'm really glad that
you wanted it to be him, didn't you?
It was going to be him. And then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, there's someone who I have not had as my start of the week. I think in a long past the requisite, however many weeks
probably.
And I just stopped enforcing it all because we just don't do it anymore anyway.
Yeah.
But my start of the week, everything about him, from his boot to his fucking giant nads to his awesome hair, Marcus Smith. Start of the week.
That's a good one. Oh shit, I love it. Yes. All right, I'll back that.
I was like, yeah, I'll change away from Umaga because I thought I was like, we were probably going to go the same route because we both are really enjoying his play. So I figured I'd go Marcus Smith because you'd shy away from the obvious ones, but
close second.
I had to give him his due.
Close second. Oh man, that's a good one. All right, so the week I mentioned him not too long ago, and I just don't love this match for him. He's pretty dependent on his boot for points, and I'm not sure how many opportunities this is going to be for him on the cards here. So my sit of the week for week 19 of the Prem in TRM only is former England and current Gloucester utility back Billy Smoking 12 Trees.
Yeah, just dislike that matchup this week.
Yeah, very much so.
Mine, I didn't mention him by name when I did the preview, but for a reason, because there could have been any number of these people. But I'm going to go with the guy who you've really been depending on for points on a lot of teams, and in this case, just don't touch him. Don't touch him. Exeter are going to, in all likelihood, right? Again, shut down Ollie Hassel-Collins. So sit him.
Yeah, he's probably going to my bench this week. Unfortunately, he's done quite well though. All right.
Yeah, I mean the bench is fair because it's one of those in case he goes off.
Stick him there.
Yeah, you get half the points, which is still great. My bench rocked it this past week, and that
always
helped
helps.
me. I ended up in the top 100. It's like I
There you
had good starters in some cases, but not. Yeah,
Yep.
having your bench players go off is amazing.
Yeah, that always helps. Okay, so quick whip around for the Champion Yanks League. FRDs were very much decided this week. I was able to upend Ben in this one, but you beat the pants off me in that other matchup. But that's kind of because I also mailed it in because I wasn't dropping anybody. I was already locked in. I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not dropping anybody just to fucking get a lineup for a dead match for me. Fuck off.
And I still scored the most points in the league. So
yeah, you scored a buck 87.
Right. Yeah, you weren't really you were not going to be competitive, and it's not, so it didn't really matter anyway.
I had Rona and Brown in that team.
Oof.
Yeah. But I beat you in the Champions League at least, so I was able to secure my spot in that one. I'm going to take on Mark in the semifinal, not this coming week, the week after. It is Carrick and Anton in the other championship bracket semi. Sackle bracket is Duncan against George, and Ben gets Justin. On the other side of it, let's go down to the supers. I had no shot in the dark this week. Anton toppled me easily. It looks like, and Carrick put up another stinker. Minus points again for Carrick. He only had like one or two guys that happens. So he lost to Justin. You were able to beat Mark, which was helpful for you. Yes, and in a pillow fight, George beat Duncan. Let's see. Only 2 weeks left in that motherfucker. Goddamn.
Wow.
Okay, so that'll be that means I'm definitely out anyway, but it doesn't matter. I'll still keep fighting. George and Justin do battle. You get Carrick this week. I've got my hands on Duncan, and Mark and Anton will do battle in Super Rugby. Leaderboard in the TRM Prem hasn't really moved a whole lot in the last couple of weeks. Let's see. There's no movement this week. There's zero movement this week.
No. Literally. Well, there's and actually separation.
Yeah, I'm closing down Duncan.
Right.
That's my big thing.
So it's now we're heading towards, and I know we have only 4 weeks left. I think it's fair to say.
Well, remember this carries through the semifinals and the finals.
Oh, that's right. So there's still a little bit more time than that, but there's almost 100. There's over 100 points difference now between Duncan and me at the 2-3 gap there, and I'm only 25 behind Anton. So I'm hoping that means it's just me and the Safa.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see how the next couple of weeks go. So they'll probably tell us whether or not somebody's chasing down first and second, or somebody's trying to chase down third and fourth.
Right, but after after fourth, there's a long gap. There's like 300 points or so.
Yeah, thankfully I was able to make some gap there.
Yeah, and George. So
keep that top four position. Stay there.
Yeah.
All right. Super Rugby Trans Tasman. Wow. Here we are. Okay. Highlanders Reds.
Reds.
I'm taking the Highlanders. I think the Reds are going to be hung over to fuck. And they're going across the pond.
They are, but I don't really have much respect for the Highlanders, and I don't like the lineup they put out. So
yeah, I don't love it either, but I think Nareki gets a hat trick. Done. There we go. Taz Hurricanes. I'm going to take my Canes.
Yeah, I am too. The Taz are
Jordy Barrett. Hello.
The Taz are just. I feel bad for them in this comp.
Yeah,
this is not what you want to do.
Yeah, firing Penny was the worst move they made.
It just kills that team is just mentally right now.
Yeah, they're drained. Crusaders at home against the Brumbies.
I think in this case the Crusaders might be a little. I think there's more will to win on the Brumbies potentially than the Crusaders.
Thankfully the Crusaders at home, so I'll take the home team.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Brumbies.
Fair enough. Rebels and Blues. This will be interesting.
Another one. It's tough.
Yeah.
I thought the Blues are better than like this. The Blues need a bounce back, right? They should have been in the final in Aotearoa, and I think this is going to be somewhat of a revenge tour because they need to. I think there's going to be a deep motivation there.
Mm-hmm. So Blues. I will also go with the Blues. Force Chiefs. I will take your Chiefs.
Yeah, the hungover, they'll be all right. Even so, I think
even with that wee bit of a hangover, we're gonna go with.
But they also might be on a little bit of a revenge tour because they might just want to make it to see what they can do to make it to the finals. So
right. So
again,
did we cover them all? We did cover them all. Let's see, did I count that right? I just don't know how to do math.
That's okay,
man. Something's wrong here. All right, Bath Sale Friday night.
I don't want to say Sale, but I'm going to say Sale.
Yeah, same. I feel gross saying it, but I think that's going to be it. Wasps Worcester.
Wasps.
Yeah.
This is Tonking.
Yep. Ouch.
I got to figure out if we can find a way to bet on rugby from over here.
Yeah, right.
I would put money on that. All right. Anyway.
Leicester Quins. Yeah, even if Leicester front up, I still think Quins take it. Newcastle and Northampton. I think this is one of the matches that gets fans.
Saints.
I'm going to bet Newcastle. I think they're at home. I think they get fans. If I remember from right, they're getting fans. So
yeah, okay,
that's fine. Bristol Gloucester. Oh God, Bristol getting fans back at home. Yeah, Bristol all day, and then Irish Exeter.
Okay, so this is another one where the fans will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And Exeter again are shaky. At the moment, but I'm still gonna go with Exeter.
Same, yeah. Irish did not do themselves any favors last week.
No, it's gonna be they're gonna be looking at them side eye for a little bit.
Yep, I think so too. They will have to prove a few things at this point as well. Okay, wow, we covered quite a bit. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We really do appreciate it, and I understand that Ben and I love to just open our faces a lot, but that's how she goes, right?
Especially once the beer flows.
Yeah, right.
I can just talk. Yeah, sure. No worries.
No problems. All right. Key points. Get our friend, the Fancy Rugby Geek, a coffee. Get your TRM upgrades. Hopefully they'll start doing some sort of deal where it bleeds into next year. That'd be good of them. Trying to think. Yes. Second tier Champions League. Get at us. We want you. We need you. All that good stuff. Fancy Rugby Podcast at gmail.com. Tweet at Ben or I. Trans-Tasman, have fun with that one this weekend. It should be very interesting, to say the least. And we'll catch you guys next week. And thanks a lot for hanging out with us. As always, appreciate it.
Later.
Cheers.